Sunset Beach scene this way. Alright, now we got that on there in the general. We're going to come back in here and blend this out the same way we did, if you think back, with the blue sky. Just taking out all the brush marks. You don't want to overblend. You want some of these lighter areas in there. Variation in the air density. And I'm going to blend right into that circle that we had there. Make that circle kind of disappear. But you still have the corona going around the sun. So I just started playing with it, and I was like, you know what if I just did the orange sky, and I did the whole thing in orange, meaning the water also, to really make it pop. And they liked the painting, and it became really popular. And so I've actually done several of these and sold them at shows. Did one at the request of another friend when she saw it. So I figure, why not try to do one here with you folks? Okay, now that we've got the basic sky in, we've got the sun in there with the, can't tell where the edge starts and stops. It's glowing sunset. Blend that out. Maybe we want to start defining the sky a little bit more. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of this cat orange. I'm going to mix a little bit of crimson into it to make a nice reddish orange. A little bit more to the redder side. I'm going to start giving the sky a little bit of depth to it. So we're going to come in here, same 2-inch brush, we have the orange on. Just want to tap a little bit of that reddish orange in there. And we just want the edges to be a little bit on the darker side. Just some nice little tight circles. Kind of bring us some light to the sky. Shaded some of this red orange. As we get towards the corona, we want it to be a little bit lighter. As we get towards the sun, we want it there, but we don't want it as prominent. Come back in with our dry brush, and we're going to blend that out. You said before, we're just trying to get some variation to the sky. Gently blend that out. You can play with it if you want to add a little bit more, if you don't think you have quite enough of that red in there. You want it to be darker as you get away from the sun. A little darker in the corners maybe. Still kind of keeping that arc. You can even kind of blend it with the brush that you're putting it on there with. Tap a little bit in there. Just blend it out. You can play with this all day, but the key is know when to stop. Yeah, I think that looks good. All right. Let's get our ocean in here, our water. This is going to be tricky since we went with a horizontal orientation on this. We're going to have a long horizon, and the key to this is getting that horizon line as level as we can get it all the way across the painting. Sometimes easier said than done. Alright, for that, I'm going to take a brush that I know is going to give me a nice edge, which is a fan brush that's a lot more on the solid side. Alright, here we go. We're going to start a water line right about here, a horizon line right about here. And we're going to do our best to come straight across. Trying not to slope it. I came up a little bit on this side, but I think that's alright. And that's going to be where our water is. That's where our water starts. I can live with that. Okay, so we've got where our horizon starts. You always have a little bit of a darker line there where the horizon is, where it meets the sky. It's a pretty definitive line. Darken that up a little bit. Using that red orange that we mixed. That's good. So we're going to lay in a base of our water using the same orange, straight cadmium orange. And we're going to, this is water, so remember how we did water before, just kind of pull it. We're going to use that red orange to give some variation in the water. You know, the waves, the reflection of the waves. Alright. I just wanted to get that horizon line in there. And now what we're going to do is we're going to come in and we're going to work on our sky. Remember how we did the clouds with our mountain scene that we did? We're going to do them much the same way here. We're going to load up a fan brush with titanium white. And we're going to start laying in some individual clouds here. Same thing. Nice and loose on the wrist. Little circles. And we're just going to fade them in there like that. Go back in with our 2-inch brush. Blend out the bottoms. Same way we did before. And we're fluffing them up. Now, one thing I do want to do here is, remember I had that black up there? We're going to take a little bit of that orange red. A little bit of that orange red. Just a slight touch of that black. Remember I said it's a color killer. Don't want too much black in there. We do want to get this a little on the darker side because we're going to use that to put little highlights in the clouds. I'm sorry, some shadows in the clouds. Alright, see a little darker. Just a touch of black. A little bit of crimson in there. Get it to the redder side. we go. We don't need much of this because, like I said, it's only going to be a little shadow color for our clouds. Take a clean fan brush. Don't want a lot on there. We're really going to scrub a very tiny bit into the bottom of these clouds. Just a little bit. Not even using brush strokes, just scrub it in there just a little bit. And then we're going to blend that out. Gently. Blend that out. And like I said before, the key to the clouds is layering. So we're going to come back in here, slightly overlapping. And we'll blend the bottom of that out. Tight circles, bottom only. Come back in here. Scrub in some shadows. Remember, don't try to make it perfect. And blend that out. Gently fluff. Take that into the sun a little bit. Little fluff. Come back in, a little bit of shadow red. Blend that out very gently. And just play around with them here, put them in however, wherever you want. Remember to vary the shape, size, length. Fight that urge to make it symmetrical. The way you get, the darker the shadows are going to be. And if you get a little bit on there, and you think maybe you made it a little too dark, just blend it a little bit more. That's all. It'll go away. It all just comes from working with the medium and learning your medium, how it's going to act, what it's going to do when you do certain things.